Episode 22, we only got a few left in the season. You ready to jump in?
Let's do this shit.
Isabella, would you like some?
Yes, but she takes 2 cubes.
Imaginary friend.
Did you have one as a kid?
I did, but I was aware that it wasn't real. And I knew I was just bullshitting.
I'd love to see what she looks like.
You don't think she's real?
Why's the guy creeping in the background?
I think that's her dad.
Oh, okay.
Honey, I think it's time for you to go now. You don't want to keep Keiko waiting.
Keiko mentioned.
I'm Keiko's helper in the Arboretum today.
Is that
Arboretum.
so?
You go ahead, sweetie. And be home in time for dinner.
I think I'm gonna just start lying when people ask me what I do for work. I'm just gonna say I work at the Arboretum.
Sounds unique enough, they'd believe you.
And they'd be too scared to sound stupid if they ask, like, what is it?
Counselor Troy,
Yes?
Isabella says she likes you.
Why, thank you, Isabella.
It's gonna turn out to be an alien or a demon or not a demon, but you know, some nefarious.
It's gonna be Barkley.
Yeah, that looks nice. Ooh,
FGC 47.
Bespin? Oh, there we go.
that's Isabella right there.
Okay, here we go. It's gonna be one of those. I don't know what's going wrong with the ship.
We could steal a couple of hours from the engineering team.
Will 2 hours be enough time to complete the high-resolution series on the neutron star?
We've seen this exact scene.
And then after dinner, then what?
We went to the holodeck and took a walk on the Champs-Élysées.
You and who?
And
And
after Paris?
he has shore leave next month. He asked me to go to Riza with him.
Oh no.
Try to talk him into Tavilla Minor. They have a cruise down the Jogway River. The iridescent currents are beautiful.
How are they always close to Riza? I'm sick of it. Go deeper.
Maybe there's like a warp traveling service to Riza. You just get on a ship that just warps there.
What is this room? I'm sorry.
Is it the Arboretum?
Oh, it must be, yeah. I think we only saw Keiko like working in her room on the flowers. I don't think we ever saw it, right?
No, we saw her in here in Data's Day.
Did we? This room?
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I think that's the first time we saw her.
That flower just disappeared.
Is anybody there? Hello. Isabella? Hello, Clara.
Okay. I don't see why this is an issue necessarily. I mean, oh no, a child!
Sure, have some nefarious purpose.
Back to our conversation about imaginary friends. I'm pretty sure I learned what it was like through media. So then I tried to have one to be cool, like what I saw on TV, but I knew already the gimmick.
Like, yeah, exactly. I knew the gimmick. I knew what it was. At no point was I bought in. I'm like,
Yeah.
the painful self-awareness has coursed through my veins my entire life, where I couldn't even have the joys of a childhood imaginary best friend. Like, I know it's a work.
This is a random memory, but I remember as a kid, I had a Wolverine action figure, like one of those big ones.
Okay.
And I would just beat the shit out of it, and like probably like 4 or 5, you know, and I'd like throw it in the driveway and like smash against the fence and stuff. I don't know, acting like I was fighting Wolverine or something. And then I just remember like one time I was just like doing it, and then I just stopped, and I'm like, what am I doing? I just stopped playing with it.
Those moments of awareness creeping in.
Yeah, like I was just like, why am I breaking this toy? Just walk inside.
Why are you fighting and breaking that toy when you could have been investing in the housing market?
Yeah. I need to go.
You could have been investing in the stock market.
I need to go invest in Google.
Isabella? How come I can see you?
Something wrong with the way I look?
No, it's just I've never seen you before. You better finish planting first. I promised Keiko.
We can finish later. Let's go look around.
Oh.
This small child's gonna have a heart-to-heart with Guinan.
Why don't we call it Sutter's Cloud?
The rotational period of the neutron star is 1.35 seconds.
Ignore him.
I'm Clara Sutter. That's my daddy.
Clara, you can't be here right now.
Man, I can tell Jordy does not like Sutter at all.
Even worse than Barkley.
Ship speed is stabilized at 1/4 impulse.
That's great, Data. What did you do?
I did nothing. Problem seems to have corrected itself.
Where did you go? There was something I had to do.
So she was able to just fix the ship right there?
I thought the entity or whatever it is was the one causing the problems.
In speed. But so far as we can tell, there's nothing out there to
I
hit.
love this.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
Yeah. And the shot.
Captain, I'd like to stay here for a little bit. Collect some samples of the gaseous matter. See what it tells us.
We'll proceed with caution.
We need to see Geordi go out in a spacesuit? I don't think we've seen any of the TNG crew go out in a spacesuit.
Nope.
Where are you supposed to be?
We were only playing. We're sorry.
Return to your quarters, and we will forget this incident.
You should meet my son, Alexander. He's about your age, I think. I'm not really sure how old he is.
My father was an exozoologist. My mother a command officer.
Okay. What the hell's an exozoologist?
A zoologist in space, maybe?
No, it's a Somalian coral fish with its fin unfolded.
Been a while, Guinan.
Looks as though someone's lost their way. Excuse me.
Do you want a beer?
Are you looking for someone?
No, I brought Isabella to see 10 Forward.
Her first bar.
I only would let you in with a grown-up. Since you brought Isabella, you can be my guest. Won't you join me?
Thank you.
I wonder if they have any other restaurant type place, or if it's just 10 Forward.
That's a good point.
And they all have replicators, so what would be the point of a restaurant, I guess?
True. Is there a 9 Forward?
I guess 10 Forward is more for the social aspect rather than a place to get food and drink. The drinks are just kind of convenient.
If the other grown-ups don't understand, how come you do?
Maybe because when I was your age, I had one.
Would you and Isabella like to come for a walk with me?
I guess so. Bye.
Bye, Clara.
You can drink your juice. I mean, it's a nice scene, but it's like, you're really gonna burn the Guinan appearance here, you know? It's like she did the best with it.
Yeah.
As much as I love learning about backstory, it's like, do I really care about Guinan's imaginary pet from her childhood? No.
No, I don't.
It's not very nice to get Clara to do things that she isn't supposed to.
She's behind you.
She's over there.
There you go.
From now on, I want you to ask a grown-up before you go to any place that's off limits. What does she say? Clara, please tell me what Isabella said.
She said, you better leave us alone.
Also, this thing never established any power of, like, being able to talk to her once she was invisible, so, like, is Clara just genuinely talking to our imaginary friend again?
Oh, yeah.
Why won't you play with me? I told you, you always listen to the grown-ups. You don't care about me. Let's go to engineering just for a little while. No one will know. And if they find us, we'll tell them we got lost.
I grow up to be a great toxic ex one day.
I came to ask if you'd like to go to a ceramics class.
Can Isabella come too?
No.
It's like you can turn invisible. They can't control where you go.
This thing can do whatever it wants.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Captain's log. The episode has failed to launch.
I'm here for some reason.
This is Clara Sutter. She's new on the Enterprise. Clara, meet Alexander Rozhenko.
Oh, here we go.
I'm making a cup for my father. Want to help?
Oh, he's being friendly with the other kids. That's nice.
When the camera panned over, did someone run over? Put the cup back over? Is that how they did that?
Clara! There's no such thing as invisible people. You're lying.
Oh, now Alexander must deal with what he just witnessed. Will he now believe in invisible people?
No, I want to see a Billy Butcher versus the invisible guy from the boys fight. Remember that from episode 1?
Oh, yeah.
I want to see
Alexander
do that with Isabella here.
You left me alone. I had to do everything by myself. You're scaring me. I was going to protect you, Clara. But now I don't care. Now, when the others come, you can die along with everyone else.
Wow.
I was, just telling Clara about my imaginary friend.
You have an imaginary friend.
Tarkesian Razor Beast.
She tells the exact same story.
The whole thing.
You know, over the years, his body kind of faded away, but the idea stayed. And I just don't seem to talk to him as often as I used to.
You still talk to it?
Oh, yeah. When I'm afraid, or I get confused, or a little scared.
Go ahead, Ensign.
Would you come to my quarters? I'm having a problem with Clara.
Oh, she was thinking about him. That's nice.
Do you think her razor beast is going to save the day and kill Isabella?
Oh, take out Isabella?
Yeah.
She's going to deploy it like a Pokemon? Razor beast.
We'll make sure Isabella isn't anywhere around, okay? Do you see anybody? Let's look under the bed.
Clara, you might want to give up the information that she goes invisible whenever she wants. That might help this search.
Maybe Isabella's gone home. Let's see. Anything here?
What animal do you think that stuffed animal is?
I don't know. Good point.
Anybody in here? Looks pretty empty to me.
All right.
She was 11, maybe 12.
Oh, I guess she's fine.
Clara's sleeping. She's going to be
How'd she
fine.
get out of the room? She just woke up a moment later. All right, I'm gonna leave now. I mean, I guess Clara could have called for help or something, I guess.
She knew to do that, but not to fill her in on the invisibility.
Has told me that her imaginary friend has been making threats. She claimed that others were on the way and that they had plans to kill everyone on the ship.
Please, don't drag me into this plot now.
I'm completely uninterested.
She only got me when I stopped paying attention to her.
Did she say when the others were coming? All right, thanks, sweetie. You go back to bed now. We'll handle this.
But Daddy...
Clara, if we need your help again, I hope we can count on you.
Yes, Captain.
She acknowledges. She's like, that's the captain. I'll talk back to my father, but not the captain.
Strand density is 10 times what it was, Captain. We can't take many more of these hits.
Full stop.
God.
Got themselves stuck in a spider web of energy.
We've got about 8 minutes before this thing drains our shields.
Any ideas?
They name dropped Keiko like 3 times, but they couldn't get her for the episode. That sucks.
Isabella? Don't you want to talk to me? I'm not mad at you.
Imagine this is the first episode of Star Trek you ever saw.
There's no reason to hide from us. Talk to us. Can you only communicate by threatening a small child?
Ooh, mocking it.
We didn't even know if you were real. All we knew was that a little girl's imaginary friend was frightening her, threatening her.
That was only after you told Clara not to be my friend.
She's not gonna admit she's wrong, bro.
Once again, gonna be a great Toxic X one day.
When you have all the answers, she changes the questions.
Please don't hurt us. If you still want to be my best friend, I'd like that very much.
Didn't even say goodbye. That was kind of rude.
Good enough. Bye.
I'm sorry I have to go away. You think you'll ever come back? I hope so. So do I.
Think they go back in a Deep Space Nine episode?
Hopefully not. All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, bye.
Imaginary friend, 3, 2, 1. Big old D. You gave it that E.
Just skip this one. Erase it.
Your first ever E. First ever E on the whiteboard for you. I gave it a D. I didn't give it an E. So
Okay.
I'll just throw out first why that is. And to me, I compare this to the only E I've given on the whiteboard, which was the game. And to me, the game was like, it's a lot of things, but it was not boring. It was really, really bad. This one, D's supposed to be for didn't care or disappointed, and I can't think of another episode in this series that is more of a I do not care. I mean, if this is going to leave my mind in a couple of days, except for the editing I have to do to post it. No idea how we're going to make a YouTube edit out of this. Might be 5 minutes. And this is up there with some TAS episodes of wow, I'll never remember this. With that being said, though, there wasn't anything about it that I was like horrified by or was like deeply offended or that I thought went against the characters necessarily. I was just bored out of my mind the entire time. On the positive side, I don't know why, but I'm like a fan of Alexander now. Like in that kid specifically, I'm like, all right, he's a part of the show. I was really tepid and hesitant when he was getting introduced to stay on the Enterprise. I'm like, oh no, but I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. So it was nice to see him. That's about it.
Yeah, he was fine, I guess. When you have Guinan you know an episode's bad when you have 2 guidance scenes and not even that can pull it out of the mud. This whole episode is a stick in the mud. Everything fell flat. No one felt like themselves. I don't care about these 2 kids. There's no sense of tension or wanting to explore these characters at all. I don't care. We're wasting so much time. It was a long 45 minutes, I would say. And that resolution at the end, it felt very cliche Star Trek. And when it ended, it was just, oh. And to have not a great Picard speech, like a mediocre Picard speech. It's about teaching this alien how we teach children. It's like, okay, that's fine, cool. Yeah, this might be the shortest discussion ever because there is no enjoyment out of any of this at all. I literally have nothing.
Yeah, it was just, a premise that never hooked me in, that I didn't care about. And look, we're big proponents of execution. I thought the execution here was just not good in the sense that it failed to ever get me interested. It's not just that it's kids. I mean, there's been episodes that have featured kids. Disaster, for example. The plot line with the kids in that. We really liked and got invested in. Here, I mean, it wasn't even as good as like an episode of Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, 2 shows that I loved growing up, because they were more horror-esque, so they got to play with like more creepy supernatural things on top of being cheesy and goofy and ridiculous kids shows. Here it's Star Trek, so like, yes, it's this entity that's going around and can become invisible, but there's nothing really like creepy or scary or anything about it. They try to do the one creepy-esque scene with Troy where it knocks over her coffee cup, and in a better episode, that could have been a good scene. But here, we already know what this girl is and what the creature is, and it's not doing anything. It's just knocking over her coffee cup because it's mad at her. It's like, I found it very odd that the entity took over the full personality of a child just because it became her imaginary friend. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it fully acted like a child.
I guess that was its way of trying to assimilate. Like, oh, this is what these people are like, or it just latched onto the wrong person, I guess, to try to learn. I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care. But yeah, talk about a lack of tension. The whole coffee cup, the whole hot chocolate scene. It's like, we know what the girl is. At no point was I, oh my God. But you look at it, compare that to a scene from Night Terrors when you don't know what's going on. When Riker's just in his room and things start happening or he starts hearing stuff, but we don't know what it is. That was one of the most tense scenes in Star Trek ever. Then compare it to this where we know it's just this, bland as fuck little girl walking around. It's great. And the worst is when they're, looking for her. Is she under the bed? No. Is she over here? It's like, Clara, do me a fucking favor here and say, oh yeah, by the way, she can turn invisible whenever the fuck she wants. But no, Clara's just, I made a pottery clay earlier. And Sutter, dude, the guy's just boring.
Yeah.
Everyone was just boring.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Even
No flair.
Even our main crew. Troy and Guinan are the 2 that like try, and they do fine with their material, but like, it's just an episode. It's just a nothing. It's just like a nothing episode, and I think the actors knew it because it's like they just clearly just don't care. I mean, Worf's scene in the hallway is, I guess, nice, where he runs into him and he's like, oh, kids, and he's nice.
That and Geordi talking about his parents, like, once again, similar to any episode of Star Trek or any episode of bad Star Trek. There's little nuggets of cool info in there, or little backstory, or nice scenes, but the 40 other minutes of garbage just completely ruins it.
Yeah, in a lot of episodes this season, we've complained. I don't want to say complained, but we've talked about how season 4 was amazing. We really liked season 3, and this one just felt like a lot of mid episodes. But this is one of those where you look back and it kind of almost bumps up all of those other mid ones, where it's like, oh, they could have been like this.
True.
Like, even the ones that we're not fully bought into, or the ones where we just think are okay, at least they're all interesting enough to have our attention for the most part, get good reactions out of us, good discussion. And then you come across an episode like this that I probably would have turned off at 5 minutes if I was watching TV. If I didn't know this show and came across this one, I would have zero interest to ever watch it again. And it's not good.
Yeah, here's a couple scenarios. One, the whole, what if this is your first episode of Star Trek? This would turn me off from Star Trek for my entire life. In my headcanon, I saw this as a 12-year-old boy. And like this was the first episode I saw on accident that said, "Fuck that! I'm going to Star Wars." That's my own headcanon. I accidentally saw this episode first.
Oh yeah.
And imagine another scenario. Let's say you're a huge Star Trek fan, and you have a buddy at school, and you're talking about Star Trek. Oh, you should come over to my place. I watch it every Friday or whatever night it was on. I watch it every Friday night. I watch Star Trek. It's so great. And you have these run of episodes, and your buddy finally comes over to watch it with you, and it's the week this one releases. And just imagine that friend looking at you, and like, "This is it, huh?" You're like, "Oh no, and nope, friend lost forever. That's it."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people give us shit, or at least give me shit about complaining about the wall of writers. Well, this is why. We saw that big fucking wall, and it's like, oh, there it is. And we.
Yeah, and last thing I'll just say is I totally understand the E grade. For me, it just didn't get there because I almost feel like I have to care more than I did to even give the E, because the E is like the worst grade you could get, but I totally get where you're coming from. It made you mad more to where I was just completely apathetic.
Yeah, I mean, did I give the game a D?
Yes. I'd have to think back, but I would guess so.
Because the game was horrible, but it had that entertainment value where it was
Yeah.
hilarious to watch it. This had none of that.
Yeah.
So that's why it gets the E. There was almost nothing redeemable about it.
Yeah, and for me, when all those times I've talked about in the past, like, oh, I'd rather have an episode be amazing or be horrific and terrible rather than just like a boring one. This is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, this is what I don't want. Like, I wish I hated this enough to give it an E.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, it was just so nothing that I don't care. I just truly don't care, and I'm never going to think about it again after, posting it. and
Yes,
everything.
exactly. The game is a flip side of that. So bad to where it's hilarious and great, People love bad movies because of how ridiculous they are, not because they're fucking boring. You know what I mean? So, it sucks.
All right, well, this is definitely, I think, probably the lowest the patrons have ever gone. Once again, proving they'll never give a negative grade. But 61% C. So the vast majority giving it a C is pretty wild for the patrons. And 19% D, pretty sure that's a record. For D, 5% E. Still 11% B and 4% A, but you gotta love the 0% S.
Thank God. Thank God no one gave us an S. Good Lord.
But it does, honestly, at this point, make me wonder, and I get it. The patrons, you guys, you love Star Trek. That's why you're here watching it with us. We get all that. But it does make me wonder, if not this one, will there ever be an episode that gets a D or E from them? We'll see. Thicket Dweller. It's one of those episodes I fall asleep on. And I was thinking that during. I was like, it'd be funny if I gave the grade just Z's. But, if there's ever an episode, if I ever need to go to sleep, I mean, you have some sleeping problems, throw this one on.
I think I will. I'm going to create a playlist where it just loops this over and over again. So some Green Cauldron 08. It's a mystery we know the answer to, involving a little girl we don't really care about, and some dumb adults who don't believe her when she says something is wrong. Feels like an episode of a kid's show, a mediocre kid's show.
100%, 100%.
100.
Definitely a mediocre kid show, like not even a good one. Not even I could list 100 of them. I think there are some kids shows that are great, but yeah, not even a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory, Ghost Child. Yeah, except it's not even that cool. It's not a ghost child. It's like it couldn't even be something cool.
I think this episode was doomed from the start, because as soon as you see the floating entity come to the ship and no one sees it, it's like, here we fucking go. Here we go.
And literally the entity following around characters who don't see it because they're looking the other way and then it hiding. We've seen that all the way back to Day of the Dove in TOS, but then we've seen it multiple times in TNG as well. It's like, get a new gimmick.
Okay, I gotta read this one from the Ninth Doctor. C- scrapes a passing grade thanks to the character work expanding on very similar beats to the bonding. How would you compare this episode to that, given how similar they are? Don't you ever compare Imaginary Friend to the bonding. You understand me? They are nothing similar at all. Imaginary Friend is an insult to people with brains, all right?
That's bad.
That's really bad.
Where
did you get your doctorate from?
Ninth Doctor, I would love to know. What were those beats to you?
Did you already talk about his parents for 2 minutes?
Yeah, there was that.
Compared to an entire episode of trauma?
I mean, there was no trauma in this.
None!
Yeah, I mean, did her mom die recently that I missed? I don't know. This one's for Prof. Moff. The G, I'm guessing he means Guinan, saves this one from E with her story, so D. That's fair enough. Guinan did well with what she was given. It's do I care about that story? Not really, but it's a piece of her character. It's fine.
Yeah, but I prefer when Guinan actually pushes things forward.
Or helps the character.
Helps the character,
I mean,
yeah.
She does help the little girl, but who cares? And helps Troy, I guess. My favorite part with her was just at her last scene after Troy leaves, when she says to Troy, like, I've been talking to him a lot less lately, and then after Troy walks away, it just shows her, like, looking for a second, like,
Yep.
oh, she's thinking about him. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. This one's from Boggle. It is what it is. And what it is a Monster of the Week filler episode. Kid actors were all fine. It's not their fault. It's just an episode you'll forget about within a day or two. C. And that's a perfectly fine take. Boggle, I just think that's the perfect example of the difference between how a lot of Star Trek fans treat these kind of episodes versus us. We're coming into this first time watching, and yes, we love Star Trek, but we're not going to blind ourselves to, oh, it's Star Trek, aka worst case scenario, it's a C. It's like nothing about that take defended the episode, except I guess the kid actors were fine, which, to be fair, I wasn't sitting there like laughing my ass off because it was so bad. Like, the kid actors were, I guess, mediocre to fine, and I even like Alexander, which is probably a hot take. But in my opinion, a C is a positive grade, and I would never give this a positive grade. I mean, not only was this a D for me, this was like a deep D, pause. But it was like not getting anywhere close to a positive grade.
Yeah, I've done my calculations. I calculate that a patron's C is actually a D, and a patron's D is actually an E.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, that's what they said too. Okay, I do want to read one defector. Give it a fair shake. This is from LJ. I guess I'm in the minority, but I've always really liked this one. I thought both child actors delivered fantastic performances, and there were plenty of elements to keep this episode moving forward. Another great episode for Troy in her role as counselor. Guinan knocks it out of the park again. Picard wisdom saves the day. I like that it's more of a simple, everyday life on the Enterprise type of a story. There are 1,000 other people on the Enterprise besides the main crew, and sometimes it's nice to be reminded of that. I predict you two won't be impressed, but you have a habit of surprising me, so who knows? Well, I don't think we're going to surprise you. I can't necessarily disagree with any of those points in particular, just that I didn't care about any of them. Like, I wouldn't say that Troy, Guinan, or Picard were bad. I just didn't care. None of it hit me. None of it got me invested.
And Days on the Enterprise life, or Day in the Life on the Enterprise episodes have been done a lot better than this one.
It feels like a Day in the Life episode because it's so boring. But there's like a lot going on here. Like, the Enterprise is getting attacked by these energy strings. Like, this isn't really a Day in the Life. More so in the sense of how they're talking about random characters that aren't our crew, I guess in that sense. But there is a plot here. It's just so boring and none of the cast even cares that it comes off like a day in the life of the Enterprise. You've been bringing up the lack of score a lot. I really noticed it here, especially in the scenes with just the two girls, and it was just dead silence as they were talking to each other with their terrible, bland dialogue delivery. I'm just like, this is bad.
Yeah, super flat. It makes great for editing, but no one's going to edit this episode.
You're not going to make an edit?
I'm not going to make an edit.
Imaginary friend edit? Oh.
Season 5.